Alright guys, what is up? It's your boy Marco Jack. Today is a very special day because I am officially done my 15 days of quarantine. I just want to do a little quick reflection. So for anyone that's wondering how the process looked like, so once you land in the Bangkok airport, someone will pick you up from the hotel and then he or she will drive you straight to the hotel, right? So no stops in between, you can get your SIM card whatsoever. And so you land in your hotel, basically you're in there for 14 or 15 days depending on what time you arrive. So I think if you arrive after 6 p.m. you have to do additional morning. And so yeah, talk a little bit about the different aspects. So first of all, the food, the food was decent. I request for vegetarian options, so every day in the morning, lunch and dinner, they would just put outside and then you just grab it. There's a little chair for you to do so. And if you don't like the food, you can always order like Grab or Food Panda. So the food aspect is not something that I would worry too much about because there's always a backup option. What I did regret though, is not choosing a room with balcony because just how congested the air is. I open the door sometime and I can do so, and then luckily I am in the corridor, which is the nearest to a window. So I open that window from the corridor and then allow some airflow coming into my room. I also have like a room spray, which helped a lot as well. But if I had to choose again, I'll definitely choose a room with a balcony, giving up on the food or some of the amenities as well. With the Wi-Fi situation, it was very unstable, here and there. So I got really frustrated in the first, 1 or 2 days. So what I did was I went online and found a company called Thai Smile Connect and order a pocket Wi-Fi. So it's like a little device. They mail it over to you, and you have to pay a little bit deposit. And then later on, I have to basically mail it back to them, and it'll pay my deposit back. And to keep up with the information, like I have this thing called Nomad List? Yeah, so I was able to connect with people under the Thailand Slack and got information of like how am I able to leave, where I can go afterwards, things like that. And so right now what I want to do is I'm going to go to Chiang Mai and then since there's no domestic flight or train, I have to take a ride over there, and it's gonna take 10 hours. And the lady that brought me from the airport to the hotel is going to bring me to Chiang Mai as well. Actually, her sister is doing that for me. So yeah, so those are my room reflection. Now I'm gonna reflect a little bit more about like just the whole what I learned in the days in standing here. And speaking of which, there's this there's a lot of pigeons here, right? Like a lot of pigeons here. I think you can see it. And so I was just like, in my room, kind of like quarantining in jail. And so, even birds out there have more freedom than I have. And, maybe for you and your perspective, you think it's not a big deal. It's for the greater good. It's for the health benefit of certain people. But I just feel like this whole thing is more and more obvious for me, at least in the research and the alternative media, opinions and perspective of the doctors that I've been looking at. It's less and less more about health. It's more about granting emergency power to governments to make certain policy decisions for the greater benefit of society. And we know how that worked, in Nazi Germany when they, granted those emergency powers. It's usually very hard to take that back from centralized governments. And so, just sometimes, certain things, when you don't lose that thing, you don't know how important or how precious it is, just as simply as feeling the sun on your skin or taking a deep breath air. So it's like, just appreciating the little things that you already have right now. It's like you don't know how important your pinky is until it's hurt. So yeah, I just don't really F with the whole, I guess, where this whole world is moving. Speaking of which, right now in Australia, mandatory lockdowns. A friend that's locked down for 1 month. And then in some places that you can't leave your house more than 1 kilometers or things like that. So I just feel like it's getting stricter and stricter, everything. And also the censorship that's happening on YouTube, on Google, like that's just crazy how we can't have that free flow of discussion, make the most out of all the different perspectives and opinions. And so yeah, I just feel like there's that tyranny control coming in more and more, and I'm just like taking this time to really reflect like what I can do, you know, obviously taking care of our mind, body, and soul, you know, the yin side, the inner side, but also on the yang side, what can we do as a human society, as a collective. You know, I'm thinking more and more about the decentralized blockchain world. I think that's going to neutralize a lot of the centralized powers, and how to think about that. You know, what are the systems? Me and my buddy talked about the three important kind of groups. One is the essential physical, right? So it's like the food, water, energy, you know, housing, the physical side of things. What are the innovative systems that you can bring in that can help people become more self-sufficient? And on the essential non-tangibles, right? So let's say the education, the governance system, the voting system, the media, let's say the internet, all right? All these systems that are very important for a society run, that's also that decentralized system also needs to be invented, and also needs to be, I guess, integrated with the physical side. And then lastly is finding like a jurisdiction that will allow these kind of small towns or little hubs to experiment. Like if you say, hey, you know, that's crazy, but there are, you know, examples all around the world, right? These quote unquote called game B societies, right? It's like an alternative plan from the game A society. And you know, there's one called Liberland that actually became a country that I believe it's between Slovakia and Croatia, and they found a little small plot of land. I think it's only like 7 kilometers by 7 kilometers, but it's officially a country, and they implement these governance system, you know, all these things, you know, using the blockchain. So I think there's also case studies where we can look at and be inspired. I think it's very important for us nowadays, you know, like we gotta understand what this is, you know, from whatever perspective. If you believe that this is a health crisis, then hey, like really dig into that, really questions all the assumptions, beliefs of the mask, of lockdowns, of the injection or whatever. Just like really kind of understand, where do you get those information from, and do you trust those sources of information, and what are the other censored side that you haven't looked into it. I think it's very important to paint both sides of pictures right now, and just really get woke and really understand the full spectrum and make the most informed decision for you and for your family. I think it's just really becoming more and more more and more tyrannical, and it's getting a little bit not scary in a sense, but also like it doesn't leave much time for us to dabble around, and we need to find real solutions, and we need to really find, you know, an alternative plan if that really push comes to shove, right? I just made this example. It's like, you know, back in the day when the Jews knew about, why didn't the Jews do something together and you know, fight back against Nazis? I think there were some people that was warning. I haven't looked deeply into it, but I think it's because some people just didn't feel that was even a possibility. It's like boiling a frog in gradually hot water. You don't really feel it until it's really to that boiling point where you actually gonna, like, you know, boil to death, right? Get cooked, right? So it's like, so I feel like right now we're still in the more premature phase, but you're seeing signs and like warning signs, and you kind of, oh, that's a little bit fishy, oh, maybe that's crossing the line a little bit. But if we start giving more power, you know, like, oh, mandatory lockdown to flatten the curve, and then you give more like mandatory masks and mandatory vaccines, mandatory maybe like vast passports, and then, you know, slowly it becomes more and more things. And so, you know, that's how I guess the game is played in a sense. Anyways, I gotta go, but that's my little like reflection, a little bit of my rant, a little bit of my review. I hope everyone's good, and yeah, I'll document more in the way. Peace. Hey, what's up, man? I'm with my man Alex. We made it to the co-working space in Chiang Mai.
Yes.
If you need his help, you can get this card right here. I will link his phone number here.
Yeah.
Call him, Alex.
Alex. Welcome to Bangkok and Thailand. And Eric, we can support to you, okay? Yeah.
Yo, was Gucci my peachy? Well, after 10 hours, we made it. We're in the room right now. This is the queen size room at Hub53. So, let's see the bathroom. All right, nothing too fancy, but we'll get the job done. Nice little sofa. We also got a little balcony out here. Not much of a view, but Hey, fresh air. So I'm paying 7,000 baht for this per month, so for me it's good enough. The only down thing though, I just talked to the receptionist, they say only 5 people are living in this co-working space right now, so it's a bit dead, which I wish more people were here. All right, so anyways, I was just gonna, you know, get myself a little, feel a little cozy, feel a little homey, and document more as we go. Peace and love, and thanks for watching this, I guess, episode. We'll end it here.